Hi and welcome to Module 2 of the Academy of Champions. This topic will be on time and responsibility balance. So there's one thing that once it goes, it never comes back. Your health can go and it can come back. Your wealth can go and it can come back. Time is such a thing that once it goes, it does not come back. And so one day I was at a car wash when I was back in the UK, and I was just waiting in the queue. So I got my phone out and I started to calculate how much time of my life is being wasted. So I got my phone out and I put 16 hours a day, okay, minusing 8 hours for sleep, and I multiplied that by 365 days and a lifespan of 80 years. And roughly I realized that we actually only have 500,000 hours to live. Now that is a very short time when you actually come to think of it. There's some people like Erland in his book Never Work Again, who basically have calculated, divided in the time that you go to the toilets, etc., and the time that you take to eat, and they've come up to a time of roughly 36,000 hours. So we're not actually here for a very long time. Although we think we have this notion that we're here and we tend to waste a lot of time. But when I moved to Pakistan, I realized that things are much worse here than in the West. When I was on the jogging track where I live, there's a Chinese contingency that was there, and so I was just talking to them and I was saying that, how are you finding Pakistan and what do you like about Pakistan and what do you dislike, etc. How are things going on? And they said that the two key challenges in Pakistan are one with the language barrier, so they speak Mandarin, and then there's Urdu, and the bridging point is English. So English seems to be the commonality that they have to master and we have to master in order to communicate. The other thing was time. They said that something that takes us one day to accomplish in China, you guys take a week. And they say that by the time you get it done, we get fired. So the thing is, we waste time. And the message from me to people in Pakistan here is that जो वक्त की कदर नहीं करता ना, वक्त उसकी कदर नहीं करता. And this is a universal principle, that those that do not honor time, time does not honor them. You find this throughout history. You find this with the prophets and saints, and they all made the most of their time. Now, Michael Hart in his book, famous book, 100 Most Influential People, put Prophet Muhammad as number one. And one thing he mentions about him was that he was an all-round figure. He was a father, he was a warrior at the same time, he was a preacher at the same time, he was a judge at the same time. And so he was basically a polymath. He would do multiple things at once, and how much he valued time. Now, one thing that Prophet Muhammad mentioned himself, he said that the feet of a servant will not move on the day of judgment until he's been questioned about four things: his life, how he spent it, so your time. Your time will be the first thing that you'll be questioned about. His knowledge, how he acted upon it. His wealth, how he earned it and how he spent it. And his body, how he used it. And this is a narration from At-Tirmidhi, a book of narrations. So that was a bit of spirituality and a bit of figures for you. A bit more in spirituality. Now, from Islamic spirituality, there's a verse in the Quran, the holy book of the Muslims, which the Creator takes an oath on time. The Creator says, Wal Asr, He takes an oath on time. Time, like I said, is a phenomenon that is so valued by even the Creator that He could have taken an oath on His beloved Prophet and prophets, Muhammad, or the angels, Gabriel, etc., Jibreel. But no, rather instead, He takes an oath on time. He says, Wal Asr, by time. He says, Innal insana lafi khusr, that mankind is in loss. Mankind is in loss, illa allazina amanu, except for those who believe, wa amilu saliyat, those that do good actions, wa tawasaw bil haqq, those that stand for the truth, wa tawasaw bis sabr, and those that are patient. Again, you see in the religious scripture that the Creator values time, takes an oath on time. Buddha also said something profound. He said, the trouble is that you think you have time. The trouble is that you think you have time. And so, on this note, what I've tried to do is I've tried to portray to you the significance of time. How much we underestimate it, and how much the greats have, how highly they saw it in their eyes.